Welcome to week 23 with Mrs. Bibb. This week we're going to be continuing to factor trinomials, except we're going to use another method. So for this week, please use this method to factor our trinomials. Please fill in your table of contents. Complete your weekly warm-up if you're a remote learner. Then, let's get to our notes. It says, please use a sheet of paper for these notes. So this is not a student journal page. It says, factor each completely. Make a table for each trinomial. You must show all work to receive full credit. Okay, when we have a trinomial, trinomials are given in this form, and it's called standard form. AX squared plus BX plus C, where A is the number beside of your x squared, or the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x, and C is your constant value. So it's important that you know that. Please write that down as well. For the first problem, this is a trinomial. I want to write what A, B, and C are. So underneath your problem, when you write it down, write A equals, B equals, and C equals, and then we're going to name the values. A is 1, B is 6, C is 8. We're going to make a table for each of these problems. We're going to find factors of A times C, and we want those factors to give us a sum of B. So factors of A times C. A is 1, B is 8. So A times C is 8. I want a sum of 6. Factors of 8. Positive 1, positive 8. Positive 2, positive 4, and that's it. Now, I know that I don't have to have negative 1 and negative 8, so you don't have to write that down, and negative 2 and negative 4, because my sum is a positive, so I do not need these negative factors. Although negative 1 times negative 8 does give me positive 8, I won't need those because I need a positive sum. 1 plus 8 is 9, and 2 plus 4 is 6. This first chart will fill out completely like that. The next one we won't. We'll talk about what I expect to see on your paper. Okay, now there's what works. So the next thing you do, put your two empty binomials that's going to represent my product. Use your middle variable v. Whatever that middle variable is, that is what you will put in the first spot of each of your binomials. Then, this is a positive 2, so you put plus 2. This is a positive 4, so you put plus 4, and that's your answer. So basically what I'm doing here is eliminating the square, the area model. I'm just going straight from the trinomial to the answer, but I'm doing a few little different steps in order to get there. Okay, so let me look at the next one. X squared plus 3x minus 10. That is a trinomial. A is 1. B is 3. C is negative 10. I want factors of A times C. A times C is negative 10. And I want them to give me a sum of 3. So to multiply to get negative 10, I'm just going to put the positive factors first. 1 times 10, 2 times 5. Those are my only factors of 10. I want to add those two factors together. Well, first I want a negative product. So I know one of those is going to be a negative. but I want to add them together and get a positive. So that means that the smaller number is going to be negative. Negative 1 plus 10, is that going to give me 3? No. So you can just put an X. You don't have to write it out the way I did on the first one. Negative 2 plus 5, is that going to give me 3? Yes. So that's my pair that works. I always circle the pair it works. Put your two empty binomials. You're going to put your middle variable in the first spot, always. So X and X. And then that's a minus 2 and a plus 5. So it's sort of a shortcut, but I do expect to see what you see there. For number 3, since it is not a trinomial, then I just look at that problem and take out a greatest common factor. That is the first step in factoring, and I never mentioned it on 1 and 2 because I do not have a greatest common factor on those, but we should always think about that first. So my greatest common factor, when I look at 1p squared and negative 9p squared, I do not have a numeric greatest common factor, but they do both have a p. And remember, if you remember from the notes, I told you to choose the smallest exponent. The smallest exponent is 1, so p is my greatest common factor. I'm going to divide each of these by p. P squared divided by p is just p. Negative 9p divided by p is just negative 9. And that's my answer to number 3. For number 4, it is a trinomial, so I'm going to name my a value, my b value, and my c value. I'm going to make my chart over here, make my table. A times c would be negative 27. And then sum of 6. So factors of negative 27. Let me just do factors of 27 first. 1 times 27, 3 times 9. And I believe that's all. And then if I want a positive sum, then my smaller number is going to be negative. So negative 1 times 27 is negative 27. Negative 1 plus 27 is not 6, so it's not the first one. Negative 3 times 9 is negative 27, and negative 3 plus 9 is negative 6. So that's the one I want. Two empty binomials. Going to put my middle variable in the first spot. That's a negative 3, so I'm going to put minus 3, and then that's a positive 9. That's my answer. Moving on to the next page. Okay. I see two trinomials, 5 and 6 are a trinomial, and I see two binomials, number 7 and number 8. So I only have to do that process with 5 and 6. 7 and 8, I can just look for a greatest common factor. A is 1, B is negative 1, C is negative 90. Factors of A times C. And you can go ahead and just put negative 90. Remember, it's factors in the first one, and it's sum in the second one, and sum of B. So sum of negative 1. Factors of 90. 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30. I think 4 goes evenly into it. No, it doesn't. No, 4 does not go evenly into it. Um, 5 times something. 5 goes into 9. 1 times 18. 6 goes into 9 once. I think it does. 15. 7, no. 8, no. 9 times 10. And that's it. Okay. And I want a negative sum, so the bigger number is going to be negative. Okay, which one of those can I add and get negative 1? The first one gives me negative 89. The second one gives me negative 43, negative 25, negative 13, negative 9, and then this last one gives me negative 1. Put my two empty binomials, use p, your middle variable, plus 9, minus 10. That's my answer. For the next one, a is 1, b is 1, c is negative 30. Factors of a times c, so negative 30, sum of 1. Factors of 30, 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 6 times 5. I want a positive 1 for a sum, so that means my smaller number is going to be negative. Oops, messed up that last one. Okay, so my smaller number negative, there we go. Negative 29 for the first one, 13, 7, and positive 1. Put my two empty binomials, put your v, plus 6, minus 5. That is correct. Now the last two here, I want to take out the greatest common factor. That is n for the first one. Divide both of these by n plus 7. And then for the second one, v is my greatest common factor. Divide both of these by that greatest common factor. That would be v plus 4. And that would be the answer to number 8. We're going to factor these using a table. Let me find my a, b, and c. A is 1, b is negative 5, c is negative 6. Factors of a times c, that'll give me a sum of b. Factors of 6, 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Negative product and negative sum means the bigger number is going to be negative. And 1 plus negative 6 is negative 5. So that's the one I'm going to use. Put my two empty binomials, use your middle variable, positive 1, negative 6. Then number 10, a is 1, b is negative 3, c is negative 18. Negative 18, and a times c, negative 18, sum of negative 3. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. That's it. And I want a negative product, so the bigger number is going to be negative. And then when I add them together, this gives me negative 17, this gives me negative 7. So this is it, negative 3. So my m squared minus 3m minus 18 will factor into m plus 3 and m minus 6. That is the answer I'm wanting. We'll complete the week 23 practice in class, and that's it. Hope you have a great day.